Yo, what's going on, everybody? Arkansas and UCA wrapped up. That second half went by pretty quick. I think the officials were like, "Yeah, no, just play, just do your thing." You know, Arkansas gets the dub tonight over the Bears, over the Purple Bears. Appreciate everyone for hopping in here. Make sure you like, share. Yeah, do that. Make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you know as soon as I go live, you're notified, hopefully, God willing, you know, if YouTube wants to be cool. And then, so like, share, subscribe, all that cool stuff. We do have a poll up for you, and the poll question is post-game MVP gold chain goes to Acuff, Malik Thomas, Knox, or Pringle. So there you go. I'm currently watching Kentucky lose to Louisville. Well, Blake, I'm glad you're also in here, so I appreciate that. Arkansas top. Listen, man, this is exactly how it was supposed to go, right? 93-56. What are we looking at on that Kentucky game? I know they were getting smoked earlier. Let me pull up my scoreboard here. What is the score? Oh, yeah, 87-81 with about 5 minutes left to go. Kentucky's making it a ball game. I mean, they were trailing, what 15, 16 points, I think, earlier in the game, earlier in the first half. So they've come within 6 points. This is number 9 Kentucky at number 12 Louisville. You've also got Texas Tech and Illinois, number 11 versus 14, with 14th ranked Illinois up on top right now, 53-47. There's some good Tuesday night hoops, huh? Arizona's playing tonight. They are smoking. Did you guys see that score? It's halftime. I know it's Northern Arizona. I mean, 46-17. And BYU currently 2-0, number 7th ranked BYU, who everyone is so hyped up about. Everyone is so excited. I looked at their roster, kind of saw some of the things they had, working with them. I get it. There's some nice pieces here, but I did not understand this team being so highly ranked. They are in a dogfight right now. They're trailing by 3 points to 0-2 Delaware at halftime. Now, I'm sure they'll take over in the second half and they'll get to playing BYU ball. We know they're capable. This is just an example here of like a team being really, really overrated. I kind of wonder if I should be fair to BYU. Maybe they overlooked Delaware. And Delaware is, let's be real, they're probably a team full of, I would assume third and fourth year players who aren't good enough to play at the big time schools, and they're finding themselves at Delaware, or their kids that stick it out at Delaware, and you get these third and fourth year players, or maybe they're all young. I don't know a damn thing about Delaware, but that is something you can run into. You can run into these lower division schools or these mid majors that are actually pretty stacked with like older players, and they know how to play ball. They just don't have the amount of stars next to their name. And then later tonight we get an interesting game at 9 p.m. Oh, it's supposed to be tip off right now. Hold on, do I need to refresh this? Creighton and Gonzaga is supposed to be playing. Is that tonight? It says it is. It says 9 p.m., but it hasn't started. Anyways. Gonzaga favored at 11.5 in that game, by the way. I'm a little surprised. And then you had Michigan, who had to go into overtime against Wake Forest, 85-84. Wake Forest who's 2-1, Michigan who's 2-0. Anyways, so I also saw Auburn was taking care of business. I didn't see who they were playing though. Pull that up here. Also get all these SEC games. Ole Miss and Memphis. Ole Miss has got a 9-point lead on Memphis right now, going into half, 42-33. So, anyways, all right, let's get this. Let's talk about this. So the gold chain right now going to Knox. It looks like, according to you guys, Remember to share. Please like and share the content, please. Man. Let's read some of this chat. Cope with Pope says Mr. Runner. Yeah. Ty, wrong forum, but Gruden says LC. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what they're. Everyone's got a guy, right? Everyone's got a guy. I saw Brandon Walker on Twitter earlier, who was also who's just trolling. I mean, at some point, you just have to realize that these guys, some of these guys are just trolling. Jordan Walsh is having a game versus 76ers tonight. Yeah, I was trying to keep up with that. I saw that he hit not the game-winning shot against Orlando, but like he sealed the deal for the Celtics the other night. So it's good that he's getting minutes and he's having an impact. That's good for him. Good for Jordan Walsh. What's he doing right now? Wow. Okay. Well, okay. 21 minutes, 8 points, 6 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 0 turnovers. Currently floating at the +9 for Boston. Way to go, Jordan Walsh, man. They're in a fight with Philadelphia, 85-82. So way to go, Walsh. King Command says Mississippi State moron. Okay. Command, who you talking to, brother? So Louisville now is up 4 on Kentucky. Like, I'm trying to monitor this game. 3.5 minutes left to go. All right. Ash says, I know this is a basketball game, but what's with all the positive smoke around football? Oh, you're talking about Brandon Walker. Okay, I was like, what the hell, man? What about Mississippi State? Are you taking a shot at me? What did I do? Yeah, there is smoke, and I realize this is a post-game basketball live, and we'll get to that in just a second, but we're going to talk about this tomorrow. Now, it might just be me. It's looking very possible it's going to be just me on another solo live show tomorrow night, and that's all right. We'll rock and roll. Hopefully we can get one of the guys, Travis or Tim, to hop on the live show. But there is some smoke. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk where some of this may have originated. But there is an awful lot of smoke that there's something out there. Now, remember what I told you guys. Remember what I told you. This is exactly how things are going to go. You're going to get some big announcement, and then it's going to kind of falter, and then we're not going to hear anything for a little while. And then maybe the week of Mizzou it gets announced, or they wait till after. Some of you seem to believe they're going to wait till after. I just think that would be crazy. I think that'd be crazy. I really do. Lone Sportsman Outfitters, you good, Ty? I'm going live with you tomorrow. Oh man, yeah. Ty only came here to watch you, bro. I appreciate you, Fish. Yeah, but those other guys, Tim and Travis do a great job, man. But no, they do good. I mean, you know, they're good at what they do. I like having them on. I appreciate what they have to say, and so do a lot of people. I get a lot of messages, and just reading your live chats, and then talking to people in Discord. Like people love Travis. By the way, I mean I know Tim. Of course, everyone loves Tim, but Travis, like in Discord, is what I'm talking about. Discord, when Discord is at its peak is when Travis is in there just being Travis, you know? That's when Discord's like at its peak in Tusk Talk Discord. It's just so fun. And we give each other shit. We talk about XP swaps off the wheel spins and whatnot. I know some of you are like, what is that? What's a wheel spin? You got to be there. But no, man, I appreciate Tim and Travis for helping me out doing this. I'm telling you, it makes doing this a lot easier and so much more fun too. All right, let's get into this game. The first half, oh, my God. I've never seen so many three-point shots in my life, man. Central Arkansas was 4 of 23. That's in a half. That's in a single half. Arkansas wasn't that much further behind. They were 7 of 15. I mean, it's a pretty decent gap, but not a large one as far as shots taken outside. But they were 17%. And they were trying to create their own shot, trying to do everything they could out in the perimeter. They were really trying to push things. And if a few of those landed early on, Discord would have lost its mind. Razorback Twitter would have lost its mind. If a few of those threes had landed, of those 23 shots, let's say they make 8 of 23, again, it wouldn't matter because that's typically how these games go, right? Like UCA was trying to poke and prod. They knew they weren't going to win a whole lot of battles in the paint. And so they just started jacking up threes. And we knew eventually, like, Arkansas was just going to get even more aggressive out in the paint. We know Brazil didn't play tonight, so no Brazil. We didn't really get to see a lot of Pringle and Ewan on the floor at the same time. I think we did there for a little bit in the second half, but not for very long. Arkansas mostly just obviously with a lot of guards on the floor, heavy rotation there. Just impressive defense. I mean, really, and I get it. This is a mismatch like no other. Like UCA does not – they don't – even their best player isn't half as good as the worst player on Arkansas's roster. Let's be fair. And listen, I got a lot of respect for some of these guys. You know, the Arkansas natives especially, right? Ty Robinson in the first half was doing a pretty good job. He had 4 points and 8 points, 4 boards with a block. You know, he was having a pretty strong half. Bolden with 7 points and 2 steals. But yeah, they were just mismatched and they were jacking up everything they could in the first half. Just, you know, on a prayer, hoping they could splash some of those threes and make that interesting in the first half. And to be fair, there for a little bit, like Arkansas would get this pretty good-sized lead, 15, 16-point lead in the first half, and then UCA was able to shrink it. You know, and they were able to they would knock down 1 or 2 of those threes, and then they would maybe score a quick 2 or you know, maybe knock down a couple at the charity stripe, which they were 6 of 8 at the free throw line in the first half. Again, we're talking just first half here. Arkansas had 25 total rebounds to UCA's. Again, the physicality factor that we talked about on Monday, just yesterday. I think some of it came into question a little bit again in that first half. You know, now, okay, they didn't have Brazil. That's fair. But your leading rebounder was Carter Knox with 7 boards. Carter Knox was playing out of his damn mind. Carter Knox was insane in the first half. He went 4 for 4 and didn't miss his first 3, I think, until his 5th attempt. So he started out 4 of his first 5 outside. Carter Knox was every bit of the reason why Arkansas was able to just keep pressing on that lead in the first half when UCA was trying to munch away at that lead. Okay, was really impressed with him. But again, I mean, you had Pringle and Ewan, who both had played. They'd shared 10 minutes in the first half, and between the two of them, 5 rebounds. 5 rebounds. Meanwhile, you're letting, you know, Acuff and Malik and Knox and Wagner get more rebound. Well, Wagner ended up with 1 less, actually. He had 2, but still. And some of those are bounce backs off the rim. I get it. You know, some of them are just right in the hands of one of the other players. You know, right time and right place, right time and all that. But still, like, there was some of that physicality factor for a little bit in the first half. Like, you saw a little bit of it. And then the second half happened. It just that was no longer an issue. They were starting to play a little bit better in the paint. They had just 12 first half points in the paint. The bench with 7 points. Just 5 second chance points. What were they on offensive boards, actually? They had just 4 offensive rebounds in the first half, which against like an SEC school, you're probably not too mad at that as long as that's in one half. But against someone like UCA, now you got to be, that's, you know, let's see that number. Let's see that at like, I don't know, 8 or 9 offensive boards in the first half. We got a score update. Louisville is taking a commanding lead. Well, I say that, and there's Kentucky bounces back with another score. But it is 95-88 now. Louisville with the lead. And again, Memphis is hanging around with Ole Miss. Florida beat Florida State today, 78-76. I don't think Florida State's supposed to be that great this year. They were 2-0. But Florida just barely get away from Florida State. So we'll try and keep a We'll try and keep an eye on that Kentucky game. Again, if you're just joining us, make sure you like, share, hit the subscribe. Arkansas's 2-1. We know they got absolutely pummeled on the boards against Michigan State. We knew that wouldn't happen tonight. I mean, this went exactly. I said, listen, just dominate the boards. They did that. And I mean, hell, did they do that? Well, hell, they absolutely did that tonight. 49 boards to their 35. That's quite the that's what you should do, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you should do against a team like UCA. And they got better in the second half on the boards. They just they weren't letting up. They ended up doubling their total offensive boards with 8 compared to what they had in the first half. So they evened it out, really, 4-4. Let's see, they had double-digit offensive boards in their first 2 games, if I'm not mistaken. So this will be their first game this year where they don't do that again on the offensive board. So UCA ends up with, how about Cameron Hunter tonight? 16 points, 4 boards. He had a steal and just 1 turnover with 28 minutes played. It's a pretty good game for Cameron Hunter. He was their leading scorer just ahead of Ty Robinson. Ty Robinson, who had 15 points. He had 3 offensive boards by himself with 5 total rebounds. Their highest rebounder, Truman Byrne, with 6 total rebounds. What they didn't do, and this is insane, man, 4 of 41. 4 of 41 outside shooting. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I've ever seen a number like that against Arkansas. I don't know the last time an opponent settled for that many atrocious, and more than half those looks were not good looks. Razorbacks had their hands up, and a lot of those were open too. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Ty Robinson and Bolden, I think half their shots looked pretty open to me. But then the rest from everybody else, whether it was Byrne or Moore, all those shots were contested. You know, they were trying everything they could to, if the pick and roll or if that backboard cutter wasn't there, then they were just going to kick it out and let someone try to knock down a 3. Cameron Hunter was 0 for 7. Moore was 0 for 5. Guy King was 0 for 3. I mean, it's just horrible, and they were settling for everything. They dug their own grave is what they did, but that was because they knew they couldn't match up inside against Arkansas. That's what a non-con, a mid-major, this is exactly what's supposed to happen. But the rebounds, of course, are going to go in your favor when someone's settling for that many threes. But it was still pretty impressive. We saw them fighting. I do kind of wonder, had Brazil played, would he have had that, that makeup game? Would this have been the game, where he bounces back? But I don't know. Something tells me we're going to be riding a wave with Brazil again this year. Tons of potential, tons of athleticism. Just, man, certainly don't want to whip towels at fans either. So yeah, they ended up shooting somehow. Despite shooting just 9% outside, or just under 10%, they shot 28% overall. 19 of 67 shooting for UCA. Again, it's just horrible. It was just not good. That was not good ball, but it's hard to fault them because they know Arkansas's got depth. And hell, Arkansas only rotated 8 tonight. Of course, again, Brazil not being available, but, they only rotated 8. And I think what did they end up with? UCA with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys rotated. Of course, when this thing got out of hand, you kind of expected them to. Hey, Ramey, I see you joining Patreon. Appreciate that, man. Welcome to the $4 status. Welcome to Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon, sir. So, yeah, they ended up with more offensive boards, 10 offensive rebounds. But, again, they were dominated on the boards overall, 35 to Arkansas's 49. And the other thing, too, and I guess this isn't really that crazy when you think about how many settled threes UCA went for. They only turned the ball over 8 times. Both teams combined, they only turned the ball over 16 times, both teams combined. Arkansas with 8 and UCA with 8. 19 fouls for UCA and 17 for Arkansas. The drama, says Round Table Talk. Whoa. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Share the content. Sharing is caring. So Arkansas with their turn on the stat sheet, impressive. Just 8 turnovers, 5 steals tonight. Again, 49 boards, just 8 offensive boards. You guys know I want double digits, especially against teams like this. But you're going to take that 49-35 in rebounds. 13 of 34. Will they do that again? Will they knock down 13 threes again this year? I think they will when you consider how often these guys are settling for outside shots, whether ill-advised or not. And we certainly, I mean, let's be real. Thomas is going to do that. He's going to jack up the threes. He's going to do it. He was 4 of 13 tonight. I mean, he settles the first open look he gets. I mean, he doesn't hesitate. He's going to jack up that three. And listen, you're going to take, 12 points outside. You're going to take 4 of 30. You're going to take the 4 shots made. But him and Acuff, who was 3 of 8, right? It was Knox that if you're going to switch those numbers, you in terms of attempts, in terms of shots taken outside, you'd probably prefer Carter Knox doing that and let Leak maybe drive something inside, set up some pick and roll, some screens. Let's get a little bit more creative with these guys, and I know they will, and we have seen some of it. Man, that there was a play in the first half by Wagner. I mean, what a play by Wagner. Pull up my notes here. Hogs at one point in the second half had gone nearly. Oh no, hold on. That's the wrong notes. But here it is. Knox with 11 points in 4 made threes in the. Or it was 3 made threes in the first 6 minutes. Then he made the 4th one later. Went on to be 4 for 4 from the outside in the first half. Wagner off a steal had a real nice backwards assist to Ewan. Did you guys see that? That was insane. And he could have. That was an easy 2 points for him. And instead he handed it off, or he turned around and gave it to Ewan, passed it to Ewan. Wagner playing selfless ball early in the game. It was nice to see. Hogs at one point. This is probably the one thing. If we're going to point out a negative, they did go 0 for 7 at one point in the towards the end of the first half shooting. I don't know how many minutes they had gone without scoring a field goal, but it was more than a couple of minutes. Arkansas fouled twice. This would be the other negative, and this is probably one that's also concerning because I'm pretty sure this is either the 3rd or 4th time they've done this year, and it's huge. Arkansas fouled off of 3-point shots twice tonight. The last one was actually a shot that went in, so it gave that player an opportunity for a 4-point play. Just stuff that can't happen, and like I said, we saw it happen. And those are going to be the things that's going to drive Cal nuts. And also the lack of I thought there for a while in the first half, like the ball movement just should have been better. So, again, UCA with the 11 assists to 8 turnovers. That's honestly not a bad number. Inside Bud Walton Arena on the road. But, again, we know why they only had the 8 turnovers. They were just jacking up threes. There was no opportunity for turnovers. Arkansas, along with the 49 rebounds, which is impressive, 17 assists to their 8 turnovers. 17 assists to the 8 turnovers. Great number. 38% shooting outside. Again, 13 to 34. Really solid number. Not elite, not great, but it does tell you the shot selection for the most part, outside of Thomas just jacking the ball up a few times. Not a couple, a few. Definitely something that stood out was the shot selection was, like, again, Carter Knox couldn't miss. He ended up going 4 of 6. He hit his first 4, then he missed his last 2. He still shot almost 67% outside. And he had 19 points. 10 boards. He had a double-double along with just 2 turnovers, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block. The gold chain is going to Knox. Knox was just, hey, man, he was too legit tonight. I loved, God dang it, every time. Right over that microphone, the headset microphone that I used to play Arc Raiders with. You guys need to get on board with Arc Raiders for you gamers out there. I know you're in there. You need to green up, go get some Arc Raiders, man. That game is so damn good. But no, it's going to Carter Knox, man. His first career double-double, 10 boards, 3 offensive boards by himself. That also, I mean, that's a good number, especially when you lead your team in offensive rebounding. 5 of 8 shooting. 5 for, I mean, it just goes on and on. He was perfect at the free throw line. He was the only Razorback that had at least 4 shots at the line to go perfect. Sealy was close. By the way, Isaiah Sealy is worth keeping an eye on. He reminds me, different kind of player, but hear me out. He reminds me of last year's Billy Richmond. Dude is just a ball of energy coming off that bench. 14 minutes tonight coming off the bench, 6 points, 6 rebounds. He was 0 for 2 outside. I don't really know if that's going to be his shot moving forward. Would like to see a little more mid-range game out of him. But Sealy might be worth keeping an eye on moving forward. I mean, I don't know that he's ever going to lead, he's not going to rack up double-doubles, or he's not going to be a super high assist guy, although he had 2 tonight in just 14 minutes. That's not anything to overlook. He was 4 or 5 at the line. He does have a tendency. He gets handsy, and sometimes it works out. He's going to force a turnover, But he did have 4 fouls tonight, and I noticed that a little bit before watching him. Like he's got to learn to reel it in a little bit, but you appreciate it. And in these kind of games, he's someone who can come out and get 8, 9 points, maybe 3 or 4 rebounds. Of course, he had more than that tonight. He's probably going to catch some fouls, but he's going to force some turnovers, maybe get a couple of steals. He had 1 tonight. He's scrappy, man. He's scrappy. In games like this, and I kind of wonder. And I say scrappy. He's 6 foot. What is he? 6'7". So I don't know if that's the right way to describe him, but he is just fun to watch. He is like last year's Richmond, and very interesting to watch him moving forward. I think that's going to be a guy you need to keep an eye on. He got 14 minutes tonight, and they were solid. Again, look, he had 6 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, and a steal. Although, again, he was just 1 of 5, though, from the floor. But 4 or 5 at the free throw line. If that's what he's going to do, if he's going to come in and he's going to be scrappy, play good defense, boy, he sticks on these guys, man. Like flies on a turd. He just sticks on those guys. I don't know that I really saw him ever. Since I've watched him, what I've seen on television, he's scrappy on defense. There I go again, wrong word. He can be a force on defense. And if that's what he's going to be, and he's also going to maybe catch a couple quick fouls, all right, so be it, right? He's on the tail end of that rotation anyways. But Sealy is, hey, man, it's good to see an Arkansas kid on a roster that is chock full of big-time talent. And he's one himself. Let's not sit here and act like he's some unknown player, right? He was highly rated right here in Springdale, Arkansas. Listen, he was more productive tonight than Billy Richmond, and Richmond caught 7 more minutes. He was more productive than Richmond, So I'm wondering, man, if he's not buying himself some more opportunities, and hopefully he can do that. And I want to see him do that I'd like to see him do that against Duke. That's a tall order, but imagine being able to get solid 10, 12, 14 minutes out of him against someone like Duke. Obviously, you need a lot more than that, right, from the rest of the gang to make that a bowl game against Duke. So, some ill-advised shots, but for the most part, again, Arkansas shot 49% from the floor, 38% outside. They were 18 of 22, 82% at the free throw line, just 17 fouls, single-digit turnovers. And this game got a little, kind of up and down the floor a little bit, fast-paced. And they, plenty of opportunities for Arkansas to turn the ball over more, and they didn't. Now what I am seeing, and I'm still seeing it 2-3 times a game, and we saw it in the scrimmages, sometimes they're not looking for the ball. Someone will, like they're trying to do a neat little pass, and no one's there. We're seeing that 2 or 3 times. Listen, it's nothing to be mad at. It's nothing to be like, oh, this is a problem. If it were happening like half of your turnovers were because of those kind of plays, then we might have a problem. Right now it's not, but it is worth kind of keeping an eye on, you know. But yeah, no Brazil tonight. I thought Pringle got better as the game went on. 8 boards. He damn near had a double-double and just 1 turnover. He was 3 for 3 from the floor and 3 of 4 at the free throw line. I feel like we're forgetting something important here. With a game like this, there's just stuff all over the place. Let's go back to the scoreboard. Louisville has beaten Kentucky 96-88. Now that looked like it was going to be worse. All right, and Louisville is not. I'm going to say this: Louisville's probably better than Michigan State. I mean, they are 12th in the country after all. Louisville is a team I would look at to go on a pretty good run, depending on where they're seated in the tournament. Unless they just shit the bed, Louisville's probably going to be a really strong opponent moving forward. And so Kentucky drops to them, and then we've got to play them. Arkansas plays them on December 3rd. December 3rd at Bud Walton. God bless America. That's going to be a ball game, y'all. That's going to be a ball game. I can't wait. Dude. Arkansas's got to get through some games, though. They got Samford on Friday night. I will give you guys a little bit of a heads up. I don't know that Friday night I don't know if I'm going to do a post game or not. Probably not. We're going to have to turn around that next day, and obviously Arkansas plays. I guess they play football on Saturday. I don't know. Whatever. But, oh, man, I really shouldn't. You know what? We don't want to – this game could actually potentially be pretty important. If everything else about this coaching search is nonsense, if it's all just, I saw Bobby Bones posted something, there's been a few places, few pretty well-known people kind of posting the eyeballs, No, everyone knows, but no one wants to say who it is. I don't know. Like, eventually, what are we doing? Like, well, we don't want to say anything to screw it up. What? When has that ever mattered? Like, when has that ever mattered? Just say it. Just tell us. I digress. Congratulations to Knox, his first career double-double. He got the post-game gold chain. Hey, buddy, there you go. Congrats, Carter Knox. Post-game gold chain. The Tusk Talk with Ty post-game gold chain MVP. It goes to Carter Knox. I don't know how many gold chains he got last year. I feel like he got at least a couple. I feel like he did. You hear how loud that thing is? I mean, this thing is not light. Ty, this is Josh Garr. Ty, I called 9256 on the last show. The closest I've ever been to being right. Did you really? Wow. Yeah, that's really damn close, Josh. You might want to go to Vegas. I don't know. Ty uses his juggling balls phrase again tonight in his radio. Oh, cow. Okay. I was like, what? Did he really? Did he say he's juggling balls? Is that what they're doing? They're 26 years old? That's one of the greatest sound bites of all time for Coach Cal. Matt says they are in Patreon, though. There are certainly some names being thrown around in Patreon. Some people that I think know quite a bit that are in there. Let's not dog the team too much, as Josh Huffman this early. I'm not talking to Ty. I'm glad you cleared that up, because sometimes I read that and I'm like, wait a minute, was I going too hard? What are you talking about? I'm talking to the chat folks. This isn't the football team. Yeah, I don't know what you would have to complain about tonight. I really don't. Like I said early on, I did think they were getting – I don't want to say they were getting out-physicaled, but it just – there was a little bit of concern there. Too easy to the bucket, too easy in the paint for Central Arkansas early on. So we'll finish on basketball, on the topic of basketball. We'll get into this football stuff here in a second. Arkansas scored in the paint. Now, again, tonight's a little bit different because UCA was jacking up so many damn threes, and Arkansas was trying to match a little bit. They ended up with 30 points in the paint. Obviously, how a game goes, In a game like Michigan State, you wanted more than what you got out, around the rim from Arkansas offensively. Well, and defensively too, obviously. But, like we said, they got out physical in that game. Tonight's a little bit different. This is one of those games where it's just like UCA was just trying to throw anything up against the wall and hoping it would stick, and nothing would. Those threes were not dropping for them. It was atrocious shooting. Just jacking it up, man. Trying to knock down the three, hoping something would happen, spark a little energy, and it just wouldn't happen for them. So it kind of changed the ebb and flow of the game. They do get 26 points in the paint, but you know what? Again, I'm not mad at that. I'm not really mad at that. Arkansas would have 30 fast break points to their 13. Each team would have 5 steals. Arkansas with 17 assists to their 11. I mean, there's just not anything here to be. It just kind of is what it is. It's one of those, like we said with Michigan State, it is what it is. Now, there were a lot of things going on with that. But tonight it's like this is how the cookie crumbled based on the play really from UCA. They kind of, in their own backwards way, they kind of dictated well, maybe it's the other way around, really. Arkansas kind of dictated the way UCA was going to play and forcing them to try and knock down so many threes. And so that's why you have some of these kind of like strange, like, wait, they only scored how many points in the paint? Right? They only scored 30. They only outscored UCA by 4. But again, both these teams were trying to flex outside. It just this is how the cookie crumbled, and you still beat the brakes off of these guys, 93-56. You took care of business, all right? There's nothing here. Like, when you win that big, who gives a shit what you didn't do, right? You know that sometimes the way they're matched up will sometimes dictate how things turn out, and that's exactly what happened tonight. Arkansas's too big, too physical, too fast, too athletic, too much talent, and again, UCA was just trying to drop threes. I have never seen 4 for 41. I have never seen that against Arkansas that I can think of. I really cannot think of the last time a team shot that poorly. And it's going to be something silly that happened maybe like a few years ago that we just forgot, But I don't remember this. 4 for 41, sub 10%, 9.8 to be exact. Horrible. I mean, they didn't even try to drive. They didn't even try, unless they got a pick and roll, or if they got just some, a little floater or whatever. Just kind of lucked out. Oh, something else I did see tonight that I did like. We're starting to see the mid range. We're starting to see the 13 through 15 feet. We're starting to see them pop a little bit mid range. And what I hope they morph into, I don't know if they'll be this way by the time they play Duke. Duke is going. That's one hell of an uphill battle. I mean, that is one you wish you had in Bud Walton. There's these two teams, like, there's some history here and some recent history, but I don't know if they're going to be a 3-layer or 3-level scoring team by the time they play UCA. I doubt it. But hopefully by the time they get a few games into the SEC, and we're talking about them being able to score from anywhere on the floor. I mean, you're seeing Acuff. He can not, I don't know about the corner pocket 3, but he'll shoot the ball outside and he can make a few, right? He is absolutely capable of shooting like 4 of 8, 4 of 7, 4 of 9. Thomas is going to shoot a lot. I mean, again, 4 of 13. 13 just seems wild to me. Like I'm sure Cal, I really don't know what he told him to do tonight. I don't know if he said, you know what, if you got a shot, take it. Maybe that's what he did. Again, he did knock down 4. But he is also someone that is capable who can finish at the rim. I think he's got some mid-range game. We've seen a little bit of it. I mean, at the college level, people like to bring up, well, Ty, this is what he did at the previous level before he got to Arkansas. I don't give it, whatever, okay? It's about what you do here and now and moving forward when you're playing with the second-level big boys. You know what I mean? The top level is the NBA. The second level is the SEC. It's college basketball. And I want to see what you do at this level and how he develops. But, again, not just him. Like, this entire team. Acuff looks to me like someone who's an inside-outside shooter. He could pop from outside. He could come off a screen, knock down a roll, or knock down some points. He's got the mid-range. We know he can finish at the rim, and we know he can stretch the floor. and then what Knox is capable of. We know what Wagner's capable of. This is, I think, and hell, it might be by Duke. I don't know. But they are slowly, I think they're morphing into this offense that might be damn near unstoppable, especially in a place like Bud Walton Arena when you've got a decent crowd. I mean, they didn't have, I don't know what the crowd looked like tonight, actually, but but hopefully they can do that everywhere. Now, Michigan State, I know we want to go back to Michigan State, but listen, that's Izzo playing at East Lansing. Like, that guy does not lose, and I didn't know his record in November at home. I think he's lost like one. It was like 49-1 or some crazy number. And I think that was his overall time at Michigan State. And it was something insane. He doesn't lose there. Michigan State does not lose at home in November. Now, to be fair, I'm sure a lot of those were cupcakes, but still, we're starting to see college basketball talk about morphing. You're starting to see these bigger matchups earlier on in the year, and God, I love it so much. But so I don't want to, that's a game that that's going to be their identity. They're going to beat you up down and around the rim. They're going to out-physical you right at the post. They're going to chase you off the line outside. That's who they're going to be, right? But moving forward, when you play these kind of mediocre defenses or these teams that aren't real great, they're not full of two-way players, Arkansas, to me, looks like they're going to be a 3-level scoring offense. On top of that, I've enjoyed seeing how they've handled the press. Okay, they've gotten better, and I think hopefully that continues. And when they apply the press, can that be something that can change the motion of a game if they're struggling? Boy, oh boy, this really could be a complete picture team, and if Arkansas is a complete picture, I don't know the last time we had that. I guess maybe 94, 95. I mean, I know they had a Sweet 16 run full of some pretty good talent too, not long after their back-to-back Final Four appearances, back-to-back championship appearances, winning one of those. But I don't know the last time we had a team that, it could be a complete picture team. And it's early. We don't want to overreact. I'm not telling you to drink the whole bowl of Arkansas Kool-Aid. I'm not telling you to do that, right? Cautiously optimistic is where I'm at right now. I'm cautiously optimistic. To be fair, I mean that's been us for since Mike Anderson, right? Mike Anderson, I don't ever recall, maybe his third or fourth year, okay, no, we're going to be pretty good, I think. But since going back to Musselman's, it's really his second year, and there was plenty to root for his first year too. But going back to his second year, you kind of felt it, right? And I'm feeling that same thing. And it's not it's a combination of what we already know in terms of what they have talent-wise and who the coach is, and then it's based on what we're seeing. We're not seeing them really struggle. I don't know what their mid-range shooting percentage is. I doubt it's super high. But again, I hope they can morph into that and be a really – because, I mean, listen, if you're not knocking down shots outside, if you're struggling outside the way they were in the second half against Michigan State, if those shots aren't falling. Now, Michigan State, again, big enough, physical enough, talented enough, they're going to be able to contain whatever you try to do to counteract your missing threes. You're going to try and drive the rim. You're going to try and dribble drive, set up pick and rolls, backdoor screens, whatever. We're good enough. We're going to counter that. I don't know how many Michigan States you're going to play this year. I really don't, in terms of what they can do with their size and their defense and their physicality. But, again, if you can't shoot down, if you can't knock down the open shots, if Acuff, Thomas, Wagner, Knox, these guys, Richmond, with his 2 or 3 attempts per game, then you've got to have an inside presence, or you've got to be able to knock down mid-range shots. Or the other thing, what Musselman like to do is, we're just going to get to the free throw line. We're going to get you in foul trouble, and we're going to change the momentum of the game, and we're going to force you to play down the dirt with us, and we're going to find a way to beat you. That's what Musselman's teams were so good at doing, especially when Jay Will was here. But yeah, there's so much opportunity with this offense, with this talent. I mean, it's just and then on top of that, you have the depth that you did not have last year. And then you got this guy Seeley, this Springdale kid, who's just going to get in there, and he's going to get all crazy, and it's like a ball of energy, kind of similar to like Richmond last year. I mean, he's moving up and down the floor. He's deflecting passes. He's clogging up dribble drive lanes. He's doing it all, playing good in transition. I'm telling you. I really think this team has the opportunity to be good. And listen, I'm not even going to tell you, oh, well, I like them against Duke. I like them against Louisville. I like them against, so-and-so. No, they might drop both those games too. I don't know. But as long as they keep doing the things that they've done that we have seen so far and they build off of that, they don't get blown out in these games, you know what? Okay. Then you get into conference play and let it take care of itself. All the positives have to come through by the time you get into January. And I think they're still going to have a winning record by the time they get into SEC play. I do. I think they'll have I think again, they lost to Michigan State. We'll see what they do moving on from there. Yeah. You got some cupcakes before you move on to your next tough game. You've got 3, sorry. Sanford, Winthrop, and Jackson State. Jackson State might be they might jump at you. You better be ready. But then you play Duke on November 27th. That's going to be your next real test. So you should, knock on wood, have a 4-game win streak, be a 1-loss team getting ready for Duke, who probably will be top 3 in the country by the time. I mean, who knows, right? But and then you got to turn around and play Louisville, and then eventually you play Texas Tech, and then number 1 Houston. I think they're going to upset somebody, maybe a couple teams. Who knows? They might lose all these games, and so then we'll have to have that discussion, right? These other teams are really good. So, but I do appreciate everyone for being here. Remember to like, share, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Oh, we had a second person join Patreon. Okay, I haven't looked at it, but welcome to Patreon if you just joined. Oh, Dom Pedro. Dom Pedro has also joined Patreon. Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon. Appreciate that. I feel like there's a long of a streak. Fouling a 3-point shooter. Yeah, they just can't do that, Philip. They can't do that. All right. I appreciate everyone. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes. Better than the best, baby. That's Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Give them a call today at 501-244-3667 if you're down in Little Rock or the Central Arkansas area. Better than best results, man. Over 1,000 5-star reviews. They're the best in the business down in Central Arkansas. So give Direct Service Overhead a call. And again, sign up for Patreon, man. You get a shot at, if you join the $8 or the legendary status, you get a shot at a former Arkansas player card, along with some other really fun stuff that we do in Discord. So come join us. Come be a part of it. Again, Arkansas with the absolute just domination tonight of UCA as expected. But holy cow, so many 3-point shots tonight. My God. Crazy. I don't know if we'll see that again. But it was, at least it went in Arkansas's favor tonight, right? Oh, we got to end the poll, don't we, really quick? Post-game MVP gold chain. Oh, yeah, no, you guys agreed. 46% of you said Knox. Okay, awesome. Acuff, 37%. Yeah, Acuff is up there. There you go. All right. I appreciate everybody, and I will see you. I'll see you tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m., for the normally scheduled Wednesday night show. All right, you guys have a good rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow night.
Having trouble with your garage door? Problem solved. Call Direct Service Overhead Garage Door Company. We're your go-to team for garage door repair, new garage doors, openers, and more. We offer same-day service. We're always ready when you need us. Best of all, you can book your appointment online or talk to a live operator 24/7. No machines, no waiting. So whether it's a broken spring or a brand new garage door, trust the local experts at Direct Service Garage Doors. Call us today or visit directserviceoverhead.com.